I put my glasses on so I can see what I wrote. It's a great honor to be here, Terry. I'd like to thank you and the reliquary for inviting me. Congratulations to all the other award winners. And it's a special honor, really, to be on the same program with Arnold Haino. Growing up in the 1960s, if you were interested in sports, you had to read Sport magazine. It was the Sports Illustrated of its time, and Arnold's stories always inspired me and showed me the possibilities of what writing could accomplish. So it's an honor to you, Arnold, and I'm happy to be on the same program with you. Some athletes are so elite that a one-word introduction is all that is required. Ali, Kobe, Babe, Kareem, Shaq, Pele, Wilt. As soon as I mention those names, I'm sure in your mind's eye you can see a towering home run, a backboard rattling dunk, a dramatic knockout. Now I'm going to utter two words, and for anybody in this room who is 30-something or older, they will trigger not one image, not one sport, but a highlight reel across the athletic spectrum. The words are, Bo knows. There was Vincent Edward Bo Jackson literally running up an outfield wall after making a catch, barreling his way through the Seattle Seahawks defense and down the sidelines on his way to the goal line, the end zone, and the tunnel leading to the locker room without so much as a pause. A 91-yard run for the ages on Monday Night Football. There was Bo dressed for tennis, hoops, cycling, soccer, hockey, horse racing, auto racing, surfing, golf, and cricket. Bo Jackson was certainly not the first to suit up in more than one sport at the professional level. In the first half of the 20th century, Jim Thorpe played both Major League Baseball and pro football, and was an Olympic gold-winning track and field star. Dave DeBusschere played in both the NBA and MLB. He was a forward for the Detroit Pistons and the New York Knicks, and a pitcher for the Chicago White Sox. And there was Deion Sanders, who played Major League Baseball as an outfielder for 4 different teams over 9 seasons, and in the NFL, where he played primarily at cornerback and on special teams for 5 clubs over 14 seasons. But Neon Deion couldn't match the brilliance of Bo, the shooting star who blazed across the sports landscape in spectacular fashion, but like all shooting stars, was extinguished all too quickly. A devastating hip injury ending his NFL career at age 28. Still, his spirit couldn't be broken. It was assumed his baseball career was also over after he was forced to undergo hip replacement surgery. But Bo, showing a level of resolve to match his talent level, came back to play 2 more years with an artificial hip. Though he won the Heisman Trophy in 1985, playing for Auburn, Bo's professional accomplishments were modest by normal standards. No World Series, no Super Bowl appearances. He never rushed for 1,000 yards nor scored more than 6 touchdowns in any of his 4 years with the Raiders. But because of the baseball season, he never played more than 11 games in an NFL season. In his 8 years in the big leagues, 5 with the Royals, 2 with the White Sox, and 1 with the Angels, Bo never hit more than 32 home runs, or batted higher than 279. Only once did he drive in more than 100 runs. But again, he never played more than 135 games in a season. You know, I remember a conversation I had with my son Alan, who's in the audience here, when he was 8, 9 years old, and always had his head in one of the media guides stacked on my desk. Who was the greatest baseball player you ever saw, my son once asked me. Willie Mays, I said, without hesitation. But he doesn't have any records, my son said, being a kid. Other guys had more hits, more home runs, a higher batting average. Willie Mays wasn't about numbers, I told him, though Mays certainly had monumental, if not record totals in all the major categories. You had to see Willie Mays play to understand what he was. There was no way I could explain it to you. So it was with Bo. Whatever he accomplished, whether on the diamond or the gridiron, he did with a combination of flair, explosiveness, and timing that enabled him to command the stage, whatever stage he was on, and leave fans with images that are still vivid a quarter century later. For example, Bo played in only one All-Star game, the 1989 Midsummer Classic at Anaheim Stadium. But leading off the bottom of the first, he smashed a towering 450-foot home run over the center field wall. Vin Scully describing the blast on the telecast by saying he almost hit it out of the state. And Bo went on to be named the game's MVP. Rick Sutcliffe, a member of the National League team in that game, said afterward of Bo's blow, "I will never, ever forget the sound of that baseball." That home run, said Sutcliffe, was one of the many things that Bo Jackson blessed the game of baseball with. In 1990, Bo hit 3 home runs and 3 at-bats in a game at Yankee Stadium. He never got a shot at number 4 because he had to leave the game after dislocating his shoulder, diving for a ball hit by Deion Sanders. Bo missed 39 days, but in his first game back, in his first at-bat, he hit a 435-foot home run off Randy Johnson, who was then with the Seattle Mariners. Said Bo, "I still made that 4 consecutive home run play." Bo was getting over another shoulder injury when he caught a fly ball near the outfield wall in Baltimore's old Memorial Stadium one day in 1990. He was moving too fast to stop, but Bo was nevertheless determined to protect his tender shoulder from the wall looming ahead. So what did he do? Without breaking stride, he ran right up that wall, nearly to the top, and then back down again. That seemed easier to me and logical, said Bo. Maybe logical for Spider-Man, but not normal outfielders. Then there was the throw, capital T. It came in 1989, a 300 feet in the air throw by Bo to nail Harold Reynolds, running from first base, at the plate. "You need to pee in a cup," joked Reynolds. God gave me a built-in steroid," said Bo. Baseball and football are very different games, Bo once explained. In a way, both of them are easy. Football is easy if you're crazy as hell. Baseball is easy if you've got patience. They'd both be a little easier for me if I were a little more crazy and a little more patient. His ability to succeed in various athletic activities was amazing. "I taught myself how to pole vault in one day," he once said. "The next day, I entered a meet to pole vault and won it all for the state of Alabama." It was this phenomenal ability to excel at any sport he tried that inspired Nike to create the commercials that caused Bo's legend to grow even larger. Who could forget Bo knows tennis, Bo knows golf, Bo knows hockey, and on and on. But perhaps the biggest thing Bo knew was the importance of humility and acceptance. When he retired from baseball at the age of 31, he said, "God has his way of opening up our eyes to see reality. The way he opened my eyes is to allow me to have this hip injury. This is a rough way to go, but I had to accept the fact." He went on to get his college degree, as he had promised his mother before she died, went into business, worked with kids, and never complained. In an age when athletes often bemoan the cruel twists of fate that derail promising careers, here is a guy who had plenty to bemoan. A seemingly simple tackle in a Raider playoff game brought down one of the most powerful players to ever put on a uniform. He might have had another decade as a double superstar. Instead, he picked himself up quietly and moved on to enjoy the rest of his days. "Don't run too fast through life," he once said. "You only have one." Bo Jackson may be worthy of induction into a baseball or a football Hall of Fame, but he's also, based on his attitude and outlook and example, a Hall of Famer in the game of life.